And welcome back to Oak City. This is our Plains and Prairies, going to be episode number 48. We are here in November, going to be turning around and having a little bit of grass harvest to do, some field work to do, and then we should be pushing forward onto some big sales. We're going to have some special sales and a bunch of overrun sales that should be time to finally unload those, so we should be making quite a bit of money this month and moving towards large acquisitions or land grabs, if you will. That's been our big goal for this off season, is to just grab up as much land as we possibly can get our hands on, which we're getting close to owning most of the map. Shouldn't be too long now. This one unfolded and started. We might as well just let it go. Yeah, all good. And let that one get running. A lot of plowing and a lot of mulching to do this month, so nothing really exciting there. Not taking down new crops. The grass has been overgrown now for a bit, so we do have to get that down in November, so it's going to be the last time that we're going to do it for the year. Although now with the new grass extension, we are definitely harvesting more grass than we possibly have a use for at this point. So just kind of letting it do its thing. Probably should have filled this thing up with gas. We'll definitely have to fill it up with gas before we set it up to the next field, but I think this one should run pretty routine here, so we'll probably get some other tractors out and get those started as well. Swinging in here, the plow is unpacked. This field obviously going to take quite a bit of time. We're running right about 200 acres here that's already mulched. Is going to have to get plowed over, so we're going to get that one started off of the bat here. It's going to take quite a while, and we'll send that. Probably try to bring another plow up to it at some point, though we do have quite a bit more acreage that needs attention. So we're just going to kind of keep going. I think, yeah, we're down to this one's got to get mulched. This one's still got to get plowed. This one's got to get plowed. And then we got to get the grass off the field and the sails made. So we'll turn around and go grab a mulcher probably and send that over to the cotton field there. Alright, here we are unpacking the mulcher. Going to turn around and send this one out into the field. I do have to say, these mulchers, it is a mod, but you know, not overly impressed, honestly. It's wide. There's that, and it does do it quick, but not overly impressed with the job that the mulcher actually does. So not sure if it's the mulcher or the fields, but I do think probably after this season these mulchers will be going, and we'll be trying out something else just to see if we don't get a better result out of it. Is going to be the idea. These are just not, you can kind of see over here on the sunflower field where they're just skipping a bunch of places here and there, and honestly, even if it takes a little longer with a little smaller mulcher, I'd rather have a cleaner job than what these are doing. These are just leaving way too many sections out there. Like, it starts doing a good job like this, and then after you leave it for a while, it just starts doing a really junk job. And that's not really what we're looking for. So probably going to be trading in these mulchers and getting rid of them here at the end of the season. Just not like, this is not impressive, if you ask me. And it did the same thing on several other fields too. They just are already plowed under. Turned around and finished up with finishing up the soybeans last month. Turned around and did a lot of the mulching and plowing already. Just a couple of fields obviously haven't gotten there, but yeah, with that I think we'll turn around and grab a plow and send it over as that sunflower field's ready to go to. And unpacking the final plow that we're going to put out into the field this month, or at least what I think is the final plow we're kicking into the field this month. Just try to get things over with, but we do have plenty of grass to go worry about picking up, and that's going to be our next goal. So this one will just sit out with the headland. and send it. Turn around and be our, what used to be our sunflower field. Not gonna be next year, but about a 100-acre field here in the middle of the map. Not sure what this is. An interesting approach to starting the field, sir. Are you new to this job? There we go. This is why we supervise you all when you start. Alright, underway and doing its thing, and then see there, you see the cotton. As soon as we're not in the thing, or the mulcher, as soon as we're not in it, it's going to start skipping things. I think it'll even skip if we're in it, honestly. I don't think it makes much of a difference. So, yeah, I would say that's going to be the end. We have 2 of those mulchers, and I would say that's going to be the end for those. We'll be trying out new and hopefully better things in the next coming season, but I think we'll turn around and jump over, grab a Unimog, and start running down some of that grass. There we are, all full with fuel. Gonna head over and grab our trailer there. And pull that one out of the shed. That's not gonna work well, but we'll be able to get it with a little bit of work. There we go. Heading out the big forage trailer. Fold that up. Good news is the field is nice and close, so we don't have too far to go. These ones we obviously are going to have to just run down. I think we will turn around and turn on our GPS to make it easy in the process. This one also is going to go much faster, so it should run down the mower pretty quick. This trailer does not have the speed restriction of the TARDIS trailer. Hall's mower goes much faster, which when you just want to get it done is definitely handy, that's for sure. This field not very big, so we're going to turn around and see that you get it up to, although I guess it's actually getting up to speed pretty quick. Ooh, that's going to be a close turn. A little bit of paint, no big deal. Watch yourself, bud. Yeah, so we'll just go about picking up this grass, obviously, as fast as we can, and then we'll turn around and head out to the next field as well. Here we are, just finishing up the grass harvest on the first of the 2 fields here. We're going to be 345,000 liters there off of that field. So we'll get that scooped up. We will turn around and dump it, as I do think we'll probably pick up too much to fill it or overfill it. I don't think we can haul that much, so we'll turn around and get this one offloaded here, and we will be on to the next field there. Mowing the grass off into the sunrise. Turn around and see, we do have a nice thick field of grass here. If we turn around and actually pull this down, we'll take a look at what our yield bonus is on this. 97% yield bonus. So the grass definitely nice and thick. Should yield way more than we need. Gonna get us through the off season for sure. That's kind of the idea. No shortage this year, definitely. Gonna take this one a hot minute. Did not put fuel in it, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. That could turn into a problem. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. We may actually have to just stop and go put fuel in it. think we'll turn around and actually we might as well jump in and see if we can run down picking up the grass while we're at it. No point in getting behind, although this one, especially on a field like this, should be able to run it down pretty quick. Drop the pickup down, go ahead and get that turned on there. Just have to see. Yep, we definitely got a pop-up, 2 hedgerows. I think that's what we're set on. We should be good to go. So we'll go ahead and fire this one. I know we're going to have to turn around and probably drop the speed when we're not on some like hill climbing run. This one may be different. But if I remember right, this thing was, last time down here, it was absolutely flying. And these hills will GPS or no, you'll just go flying right up off the ground. The thing with the GPS is it doesn't work if your wheels aren't on the ground, basically, is the idea. That's what I noticed last time doing this field, is it will definitely skip around, bounce around, and try to go airborne on you. Unimog doing its job, not overpowered for running this trailer, but it'll definitely do the trick. And here's where we should really start picking up some speed. We're gonna have to keep an eye on things. Seems like if you're going much over 40 miles an hour, you're kind of in like good luck staying on the ground territory. And the hills definitely let us pick up some speed. Alright, at least the hill is slowing us down a little bit where we need to be, so that's working out. We're going to catch up anyway. We'll probably be matching speeds if we're in here around 12, 13 miles an hour, I would think. Don't know how much faster that one's going to cut than that. Well, we'll just kind of hang out here, try to get all of this picked up, and then just keep working over our goals for the month. I think we're going to kind of wait until we get most of the crop stuff done before we turn around and worry about the sell-off, because we're only going to sell off to special stuff where we don't have a lot going on over the next couple of months. I don't think we're going to worry about the monthly sales too much, and we'll just kick all that in at one time. That way we can just kind of get our pile of cash and see where we're at. And here we are, just finishing up the grass. That's going to finish that one. So we did already turn around and pull 1 million liters off of the field. The 300, and I think it was like 40,000, something like that, off of the other field, and then now 591,000. So I mean, we're pulling a little over 2 million liters pretty much across the board off of the two fields, which again, way more grass than we need, but at least it means that we don't have to do grass all the time, or it certainly means we can come up with another way to turn around and make some money off of the grass in the future here. Now that we do know we're yielding way more than we need to, probably don't need to worry about silage additive anymore. Unless we figure out some, there you go, a little hotter on the corner. Unless we figure out some other way to make some money off it, so we'll be looking into other options there, I think, for sure. Might as well pick that up, see that we actually have the trailer turned off. That might be why we lost it around the corner, actually. Had the pickup down still. Not gonna do any favors there. Let's get this thing back up to the farm here. Lot going on. I think we are done now plowing the sunflower field, so we can get that over, start plowing the cotton field. I think that's the last of the fields that we have to plow, other than the soybeans still going under up there. But it looks like we should get through the bulk of our background field work this month. So we'll turn around and get this dumped And then I think we can turn around from there and start looking at actually making some of our sales for the month. Here we come in for delivery number 1 of the month. Get rid of our excess wool there, $32,000. So we'll be zooming on to the next load. Here we are, bringing in load number 2. You can see this one is going to be a tanker full of diesel. 100,000 on board here. This one we anticipate a much bigger payday than the last load there. Alright, there we are. Wait, where did the harvesting come from? Why did you chunk that into 2? 384,000. Yeah, usually we get 500,000 out of those, so I'm assuming that's just putting it somehow and split them. But that's going to be a winner nonetheless, up to 2.6. So that'll bring us on to our third load. Loaded up with 100,000 liters of peas here. We are going to turn around and sell it. It is at a year high right now. So the peas, where we have 280,000 liters, or had 283,000 liters to be more specific, turn around and load it up about 103,000 liters of that. We're going to go dump that off, sell it at the high mark, and save the rest for Preserve Food Factory Productions is kind of the goal there. Make sure we don't run out this year. Last year we know we ran out like a month or 2 short. Throw a little bit in there for some bonus money, $362,000. We do also have a ton of potatoes to sell off. We have a bunch of other things to sell off next month in December. So we are going to turn around and go load up. The potatoes are real close to high mark, basically at high mark. So we're going to go grab some of those, and we'll see what we get out of that for our drop number 4. And this is going to be our 4th sale of the month. Potatoes, you can see we had 600,000 liters on board here. Still going to leave us about 300,000 in the silo, which is going to take care of anything we need for productions or anything like that. So this should be a nice boost at 542,000. So there's another $500,000 into the bank. I think that takes care of our bulk sales for the month. So then we are just going to push off, I think, our last couple of sales in box trucks probably for the month. That is going to bring us in here for the final sale of the month. Did turn around and get the grains, so the corn tortillas and the wheat bread pushed over. That's going to leave what's in the trailer here, so we'll get that all unstrapped. We have the apples and preserved foods, aged goat cheese in there, and we also have a couple of gargonzolas, 530, 540, somewhere in that neighborhood. Just kind of cleaning up all the extras. What? Somehow we have 2 more cheeses there already. Whatever, they're going to wait till next month, that's for sure. At this point, that turns around and brings us up to 4.5 million. So not too bad, and definitely gets us in the neighborhood for some land acquisitions. So we're just about getting finished up with the rest of our field work for the month. Still have a little bit of spraying going on. Plow still working on the cotton field there, and the plow just about done with the soybeans up there. I think we'll keep moving on with the sprayer. We just have the grass fields there that we're refertilizing for next year. And then we'll just kind of keep up to date with the field work as we go along. Plowing out the cotton field here, making some pretty good progress. Still have about half of this one to go. Have turned around and gotten the soybean field done there, so everything is completed there. Everything's sold off. We're at $4.5 million. I guess we are going to turn around and come in one more thing to do is we are going to turn around and sell off both of the mulchers. At this point, we're not too worried about getting like absolute top dollar or anything else for them, so we did just turn around and reset them, and we're just going to sell those straight up. So that's going to put us at $4.6 million. Couple of, obviously, we'll have to replace those, but we are going to just try out some different mulchers when we get there to it. So we do have the $4.6 million. So I think we are going to spend a good chunk of that. We're going to come up here. You know, we have a lot of places on the map we could target still, but we don't have a lot going on this right side of the map. So we're going to just jump up to the top, I think, and we're going to just start buying those up. In fact, we can turn around and jump up here, come take a look at what we're dealing with. So we do have some pretty hilly terrain up here in this part of the map. So some of it is going to be a challenge to work. We're definitely going to have a fair amount of trees to get rid of up here. We got rocks out here. It's just going to be a whole host of new issues and new challenges to deal with. As you can see, this kind of the, what is this, the edge, and not quite. You know, whether we would push the field back this far, I don't know. This looks like it's awfully hilly, so we'll just kind of have to turn around and take a look when we're actually breaking it, you know, breaking the ground with the plow. Turn around and come through here. We're going to buy up the whole thing, as we have been doing traditionally. We'll run everything right up to the road into one field. That gives us enough money that I think we'll turn around and just keep going south with it. I wonder if we can get all the way south to the river. Oop. Buy that one. Buy that one. And I think we'll just push on and go for it. Buy up everything south to the river. Going to leave us just under 900,000. As you can see, I mean, we picked up a fair amount of fields here, what, 12, 13, 15 fields, something like that we did just scoop up. Obviously a lot of field work to do here, which is what we're now going to be working on for the next couple of months. All we're going to have now is there's no field work until February planting, and everything else is now just going to be plow it, well, strip it and plow it and get it ready to be planted. As you can see, we now have that whole chunk, this good sized field along here, and the bottom ones, and then a whole host of our specialty crop sales and whatnot. Our bioplastics gets emptied out here December, January, and we have a bunch of other crop sales to make too. So I think we'll try to do December, January, and work on some of the field prep in the off, you know, in the off time between episodes, and we'll just kind of catch up going into next year, I think. So with that, I think we'll call it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.